Hello everyone. Welcome to another lecture on reasoning ability and problem solving. In today's lecture, we will discuss some exercise questions of similarities and differences. In the previous few lectures, we discussed that there are 6 types of questions that can be formed from similarities and differences that can be asked in your competitive exams. Number 1 was number series similarity. Then letter, or also known as alphabet series similarities. Then we discussed figure series similarities. Then analogies. Then we discussed odd one out. And lastly, it was coding and decoding. So these are the type of questions that can be asked in similarities and differences. The first 3 types, this we covered in the previous lecture. In today's lecture, we will cover the remaining 3, which is analogies, odd one out, and coding, decoding. So let us start with type 4, which is analogies. So what do you actually mean by analogies? Analogies is the comparison between two or more things. It could be shapes, it could be numbers, it could be elements, it could be objects, it could be alphabets, it could be anything. Okay? In order to draw similarities. This is what you mean by analogy. Now, I told you that there are 2 steps to solve any question related to analogy. Step 1 is to identify the logic or the pattern used in pair 1. And step 2 is to apply the exact same logic in pair 2 to find out the missing element. So by following these 2 steps, we can find out the answer to any analogy. Now over here, the first pair is this in this question, and the second pair we have to find out. So how is pen associated with ink? I can write that ink is a substance used in a pen. The logic is that it is a substance used in a pen. Similarly, we have to find out a substance used in a pencil. Out of the 4 options, graphite is a substance which is used to make the lead for pencil. So our answer will be option number 2, graphite. Here you can see the solution. The first term is associated with the substance it uses. Similarly, a pencil uses graphite to write just as a pen uses ink. Now, analogy is question number 2. Cat is to feline as dog is to what? So, cat is a type of feline animal. This you should know, right? Similarly, dog is a type of canine animal. So cat is a type of feline animal. Similarly, dog is a type of canine animal. So option number 2, canine will be the correct answer. Now, laugh is to joy, pair number 1. We have to find pair number 2. Now, when you experience joy, you laugh. This is the relationship between joy and laugh. Laugh is an activity that you do when you experience joy. Similarly, we have to find out an experience during which you cry. So, when you experience sorrow, you cry. So whenever you experience sorrow, you cry. Whenever you experience joy, you laugh. So answer will be option number 3, sorrow. So first we found out the relationship between the first pair, and then we used the exact same relationship to identify the missing element. This is how you solve any question on analogy. Now, ocean is to water as desert is to what? So I can say that water is found in ocean. This is the relationship. Similarly, I can say that sand is found in desert. Another way to put it, that ocean is made up of water. Similarly, desert is made up of sand. So our answer will be option number 4, sand. This will be the correct answer. Now, flourish is to wither is to grow is to what? If you remember, I told you the concept of synonyms and antonyms. What do you mean by that? Antonyms are opposite words. Similarly, synonyms are similar words. Correct? Over here, flourish means to grow and wither means to shrink down. So flourish is the antonym of wither. These are two different words. When you flourish, that means you're growing and you're expanding, and you're withering, that means you are shrinking down. Similarly, we have to find an antonym of grow. So thrive is a synonym. Blossom is also a synonym. Expand will also be a synonym. The only antonym is shrink. So answer will be option number 3, shrink. Okay. Now, we have to find the odd one out. Which of the following is the odd one out? Circle, sphere, triangle and square. Now, I know that triangle is a 2D figure. Similarly, a square is also a 2D figure. A sphere is a 3D figure. And a circle is a 2D figure. So clearly all these three are 2D figures. Only the sphere is a 3D figure. Hence our answer will be option number 3, sphere. Now while we were doing object and shape analogy, we discussed 2D figures, and what are their corresponding 3D figures are called. So for circle, the corresponding 3D figure was called sphere. Similarly, for square, it was called cube. For rectangle, it was called cuboid. And for triangle, you can either call it a prism or you can also call it a pyramid. So this is important to remember. So here we can see all the figures are 2D except sphere. So sphere is the only one that is odd one out. Odd one out means different. In these type of questions, we have to find out a word which is different than the rest. Okay. So answer option number 3, sphere, will be the correct answer. Now, again, which word does not belong with the others? So here I can see option number 1, pineapple is a fruit. Similarly, banana is also a fruit. Orange is also a type of a fruit. Only brinjal is a vegetable. So our answer will be option number 4, brinjal. Okay. So in odd one out, you basically have to find the pattern, and based on that pattern, we have to find out which of this does not follow in the same groupism. Now, when you look at this question, which number is odd one out, we can clearly see, if you remember squares, I told you to remember squares, right? We can clearly see this is 7 square, 49 is 7 square, 25 is 5 square, 36 is 6 square. Only 18 is a number which is not a perfect square. So it is the only number which is different than the rest. So answer will be option number 2, 18. Now for your reference, I am just quickly revising the squares. 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36, 7 square is 49, 8 square is 64, 9 square is 81, 10 square is 100, and then you can continue. So clearly, if you remember the squares, you can see that this is a perfect square, this is a perfect square, this is a perfect square. Only 18 is a number which is not a perfect square. Hence, our answer will be option number 2, 18. Again, which animal does not belong to the same category as the other? So here I can see that lion is a animal with 4 legs. Giraffe is an animal with 4 legs. Elephant is an animal with 4 legs. Only dolphin is an animal which has 2 legs. Another way to look at it, lion is a land mammal. Similarly, giraffe is a land animal. Elephant is also a land animal. Only dolphin is something which is a water animal, water mammal, right? So the answer will be option number 4, dolphin. Sorry, dolphin does not have 2 legs. Dolphin does not have any legs. I got confused. So if we look at the legs, lion, giraffe, elephant have 4 legs. Dolphin is the only animal which does not have a leg. Also, if you look at the other way, lion is a land animal, giraffe is a land animal, elephant is a land animal, and dolphin is the only animal that stays in water. So our answer will be option number 4, dolphin. So here, clearly you can see in the solution, the first 3 options are land animals, while dolphin is a marine mammal and belongs to a different category. Now, which of the following does not have a related meaning to the others? Odd one out question. Over here, if you look at this question, eloquent, articulate, and persuasive. All these 3 words, eloquent, articulate, and persuasive. All these 3 means to communicate effectively. Only the word incoherent means lack of clarity or lack of thoughtfulness. So out of these 4 options, eloquent, articulate, and persuasive, all these are synonyms. Only incoherent is a different word. Hence, option number 4, incoherent, will be the correct answer. Okay? Here you can see eloquent, persuasive, articulate refers to the ability to communicate effectively, while incoherent refers to lack of clarity or organization in speech or thought. So this is how you solve questions for odd one out. Now let us come back to coding decoding analogies. In coding decoding analogies, we use the same 4 concepts that we use in alphanumeric series, which were forward rank, backward rank, opposite letters, and loop. So these 4 concepts will be used for questions in coding decoding analogies and other concepts as well, especially for this question, this particular question. So here we are given that given is coded as this, and we have to find the code for shark. So whenever you get a question like this, I told you to write it down one below other to understand the logic. Correct? Now let us give them forward ranks. G is ranked at 7, I is ranked at 9, V is ranked at 22, E is ranked at 5, and N is ranked at 14. To remember forward ranks, there was a shortcut called Ijoti, right? This can help you remember forward ranks. Moving forward, M is ranked at 13, D is ranked at 4, V is ranked at 22, J is ranked at 10, and H is ranked at how much? H is ranked at 8. Okay. Now, if I look at this, from here we are going plus 5, here minus 5. This is the same. Plus 5 and here we are going how much? -6. So I really can't make out any logic that is being used. Correct? This does not make us understand any logic. This is +6. Now, let us use pattern to identify the logic. From 7 to 8, that means here we are going +1. From I to J, we are going +1. V is in the same position. From E to D, we are going -1. And from N to M, we are going -1. So I can say that for the first two alphabets, we are going +1. For the middle, we are remaining in the same position. And for the last two alphabets, we are going -1. This is what the logic is according to this question. Now let us solve for shark and see whether the logic is true or not. For shark, if I write, S will be positioned at 19, H will be positioned at 8, A will be positioned at 1, R will be positioned at 18, and K will be positioned at how much? K will be positioned at 11. So now I have to go one position forward from here to here 20, from here to here 9. Then I'll get the same position. From here I have to move one position backward, so 17, and from here also I have to move one position backward to 10. So I use the same logic that I got in this particular question. Now, at 10th position we have J, at 17th position we have Q, at first position we have A, at 9th position we have I, and at 20th position we have T. So my answer code will be JQAIT, which is option number 2. So option number 2 will be the correct answer to this question. Here you can see the solution. This is what the pattern we are following. Now, in a certain code language, the gust is written as this, snip is written as this, and we have to find the code of sing. Now, first, let us see if they are in the same order. For example, G is coded as @. So, G over here, we should have @, but this is not the case. That means they are not in order. So, we have to find out. Now, over here, in the word gust and gape, the only common word is G. So, in the code, this and this, the only common thing is the $sign. So, I can see that G is coded as $sign. Correct? Now, in the word snip and gape, the only common, I'm using a different ink, okay, for each alphabet. In snip and gape, the only common alphabet is P, right? And in the code 957 hashtag and this, the only common code is 5. So P is 5. Correct? Now, if you look at gust and snip, so I have to find the code for sing, right? For S and I, these three, for S and I, the code will be 97 hashtag. So for S, N and I, the code will be 97 hashtag. Correct? In which order we don't know, but we know for S and I, the code is either of these three symbols. Now, for G, we have already found out. So for G, which is also a word in sing, the code is $sign. So my code will have 97 hashtag and $. So out of the given 4 options, I can see this is in option number 1. In option number 1, we have 97 hashtag and $. So our answer will be option number 1. So how did we do this question? We looked at the words and found the common. So when I looked at this word and when I looked at this word, I can see one common, that is G. So I found the code for G. Similarly, over here in snip and gape, the only common letter I could find was P. So I found the code for P. Now the remaining letters were S and I. The remaining codes were 97 and hashtag. So I knew for S and I, 9, 7 and hashtag were the codes. In which order? We don't know, and according to the question, we should not care also. Then G, we already found out hashtag. So the code for these 4 letters will be these 4 letters. In which order? We don't know. So our answer will have these 4 letters or these 4 symbols as our code, which is option number 1. So this is how you solve question on coding, decoding analogies. Now, in a certain code language, how many goals code is written as this? Many more matches is written as this. He's code 5 is written as this. We have to find out how is goals written in that code language. Now let us see. How many goals scored and many more matches. In these two sentences, the only common word is many. Okay, so here also we have many and here also we have many. So many is the only common word. Now, this is the code 5397 and this is the code 982. So here only common number is 9. So many is coded as 9. Okay. Now, how many goals scored and many more matches? Now, how many goals scored and he scored 5. So the only common word in these two sentences is scored. How many goals scored and he scored 5. The only common word is scored. So I can find it for scored. For scored it is, over we have 5397 and over here we have 163. So the only common number is 3. So scored is 3. Now, we have many more matches. He scored 5 and how many goals? So the remaining alphabets for which we do not know the code is how goals. Then in the next we have more and matches. Then in the next we have he and 5. We do not have any common words in these 3 sentences to find out the codes of this word. So I can say he scored 5. If scored is coded as 3, he and 5 will be coded as either 1 or 6, which is we cannot fix, right? But we can get a rough idea. It could be either 1 or it could be either 6. Similarly, for more in matches, it could be 8 or 2. And for how goals, which is over here, how and goals, it could be either 5 or 7. So either of the two. So we cannot really answer the question without taking use of another sentence. If we had another sentence which had the same words, we could find out. But with the current details, it could be either 5 or it could be either 7. So goals could be either 5 or 7. Similarly, how could be either 5 or 7. So the value of goal, the code of goal could be either 5 or 7. So our answer will be option number 3, 5 or 7. Now, in a certain code, temporal is written as this. We have to find out how consider is written in that code. Now for temporal, let me write it like this, and below this I'll write the code. Okay. Now I'll give them forward run. So T is 20, E is 5, M is 13, P is 16, O is 15, R is 18, A is 1 and L is 12. This we know. Similarly 15, 12, 4, S is 19, M is 13, B is 2, S is 19 and T is 16. Now, if I break this from between like this, if I break this from here, I can see from T to S we are going -1. Similarly, from P to O we are going -1. Similarly, from E to D we are going -1 and from M to L we are also going -1. So we are following this crisscross pattern and we are going one alphabet below this one. So we are going one position backwards. Similarly, from here I can see O to P is +1, L to M is +1. Similarly, R to S is +1 and A to B is +1. So we are going in the same crisscross manner and we are moving one position forward. So let us do the same thing for consider. So if I write consider, so over here we have consider. Now let us apply the same logic on consider. So I'll break this from between. I'll write the positions first. So 3, 15, N is ranked at 14, S is ranked at 18. Similarly, I is ranked at 9, 4, 5 and 18. Okay? Sorry, S is ranked at 19. Now, if I move one position back, it'll give me 18th rank. Similarly, second rank over here. Similarly, 13th rank over here and 14th rank over here. Let's do the same thing for this. I'm moving one position forward. So 19th rank here, 10th rank here, 6th rank here and 5th rank here. So I followed the same pattern that we followed over here. So at 18th position we have R, at 13th position we have M, at 14th position we have N, second position is B, at 19th position we have S, then F, then E, then J. So our code will be RMNBSFEJ, which is in option number 1. So option number 1 will be the correct answer. Okay, here you can see this is what the pattern we are following. This is the pattern. Again, a question of sentence coding. We have to find out the code of here. So the first sentence is, how can you go? It is written as this. Similarly, can you come here is written as this. Come and go is written as this. Now, how can you go and can you come here? Over here, I can see that you is the only common word. Right? So, when U is the only common word, the code is JDAKPA and NAKASAJA. So, the only common thing I can see is JA. Right? The other common word is also can. So, for can and U, it is JA, JA and KA, K. So, it could be either JA or it could be either K. Correct? Let us see for other things. Over here we have, can you come here and come and go. In these two sentences, the only common word is come. Correct? The code is NAKSAJ and RAPASA. So the only other common thing is SA. So come will be coded as SA. Correct? This much we understand how we find out the codes of can and U. It could be either JK and for come it could be SA. Now if you look at this sentence again, can you come here? So we have found the code for can, you and come. So the only remaining alphabet is here and the only remaining code is NA. So clearly the code for here will be NA. So answer will be option number 2, NA. Let me repeat. From these two sentences, how can you go? Can you come here? We found the code for can you. Can you could be either JA or KA. This is not definite, but these are the only two options. Then from this sentence, can you come here and come and go? We found the only common word was come. So we found the code for come, which was SA. So the only remaining word in this particular sentence was here and the only remaining code was NA. So here is coded as NA. So option number 2 is the correct answer. So this is how you solve questions for coding decoding analogies. This concludes today's lecture. Thank you.